That's my shit right here. Say what, that's my shit right here. Welcome back to another episode of Road to William. The person today that we're focusing on is Prince, formerly known as. Now I'm doing this because y'all know Mother's Day is coming up, and Prince is probably the top person who my mom loves, next to Whitney Houston when it comes to this music thing. So shout out to my mom. Um, this is one of her favorite artists. Just a little background on my people, or my mother, shall I say. They all grew up in the church. I mean, I eventually grew up in the church too, but my mom and them are daughters of a bishop. And when you in the church, like they was in the church, it was a lot of them. It was what I had. What? How many aunties? One, two, three, four aunties, one uncle, and then it was my mother. My mom's the baby of the family, so it was six of them in total. And they all were in the church. They grandma and grandpa, they didn't play that about that the blues is what they called. This is the blues. And my mom said she was sneaking and listening to Prince, and I just heard some more family stories where they were all sneaking some music, playing some music, and but yeah, my mom told me, when she was growing up, she had to sneak and listen to Prince, and I thought that was absolutely hilarious, right? So today we're doing a video on Prince, and we all know him for his music, of course, but also for his stance on things in the industry, and how he became, even more outspoken towards, before he left this earth physically. And um, I just wanted to shine a light on him and all he's done. I know we can't shine a light on everything, but I did want to vibe out with y'all and watch some of these interviews, and get it cracking. So leave in the comments one of your favorite Prince songs. Mine, we got to go through the song. I can't offer it name for real. I just heard a few months ago. I was vibing out. I'm gonna have to drop one in the comments too. I don't. Diamonds and pearls. Diamonds and pearls. I know I'm gonna get the copyrighted out of that shit if I play his music, but Diamonds and Pearls is one of them. Purple Rain, of course, is a good one. I Want to Be Your Lover. Kiss is one of those, of course. It's a Bob. When Doves Cry. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So y'all let me know what your favorite Prince record is. Prince Rogers Nelson. Prince Rogers Nelson was an American singer, multi-instrumentalist, songwriter, record producer, and actor. Yeah, we can't forget he was acting. And he acted his ass off in Purple Rain. You can't deny that. And if we just kept seeing him in more roles, I think he would have been, if he could conquer music easily, he would have for sure conquered the acting world for sure. So let's get into it.
Ultimately, all music is, yeah, or can be inspirational. Yeah, that's why it's so important. I'll be right there. Gift.
Am I tripping? Y'all hear something
clear. Where does your inspiration?
Okay, I'm not tripping, but that was kind of slick how it was playing though.
Do you want me to research you if you have a million names? A million names. Well, call me Melanie. Melanie. A lot of people they call me Melanie or Gary, but people I like them to call me Melanie. Well, to this airs, everyone I call you Melanie. Nobody else is laughing. Only me. What about you? What do I call you? Well, I go by an unpronounceable symbol, but you can call me Spud. Spud? As in potato spud? Or just Spud? Just Spud. Spud? Does it stand for anything? I want to know, why me? Why was I supposed to be to interview you?
Because you're a pimp. Look at this watch.
And I'm admitting it. Can you believe it? I'm actually admitting it. But yeah, you know, I followed your stuff, and you're going to be going on tour soon, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've got your album out already. Tell me a bit about that.
The album
Yeah.
called The New Power Generation. It's called New Power Sun.
All right.
It's spiritually political.
You said that earlier. What do you mean by spiritual?
We're getting closer and closer to the truth on the album.
Who influenced you on this album that you have out now?
This one actually was influenced by the musicians that are on it, the New Power Generation. I change musicians every 2-3 years, so this will probably be the last band that I have for a while. I'm going to do some solo work after this, but this record is it's one of the maddest records ever. Fun being in a situation where we don't worry about charts and singles and videos and all that now, because it really does affect how you go into the studio, what it is you put down on the tape.
It's a brilliant album. It is. It's got that thing, I can't explain it. That thing, you know, that kind of.
That's probably
if you want to play
all
it now.
that's left unexplained. All of it.
And what's the show going to be like? Tell us a bit about that.
Oh, it's going to be sick. It's going to be so sick.
You've got dancers, you've got your band.
Yeah, it's going to be so sick, so long. Just
jamming.
Yeah, funk ridden. Larry Graham is coming with us. Chaka Khan. And Dougie Fresh.
All right.
It's going to be crazy.
Brilliant. Looking forward to that.
Mad sex.
But one thing that you started to do was sell your albums on the internet. Why was that?
I like the interaction between fans, the direct line. Friends, I don't like to call them fans. That's short for fanatic.
All right, yeah. Because I was having a word with my drummer, got a drummer on tour with us, and he goes, at some point, there's going to be no need for record companies. Everything is going to be done through the internet. You're going to be able to sell, download, everything is going to be through the internet. Do you think that? Or?
Well, I'm not so sure about that. You know, record companies have their purpose. They're actually good for people who are just starting out and need a helping hand. They serve a lot of functions, you know. But for somebody like me who writes a lot, records a lot, and wants to release a lot, it's a detriment. So I stepped. So it doesn't negate going back and you know, doing something in the future.
Because you've got your own label now, yeah.
Well, it's 3 letters, NPG, that we stamp on the product. But we're musicians. We don't need to function as a record company person.
All right, so you do it more kind of on a level.
Yeah, and I don't wear a suit.
Yeah, that's good. So if I release some stuff, then I could go under your label, couldn't I? If I talked to you enough around it.
As long as you own your work, it's cool, because that's what that's what New Power Generation is about. Ownership of the master, or else you're a slave.
I really respect that, how you've done things, because you're your own person and you do what you want to do, and you kind of control a lot of things around you, which is very important, obviously, for you and to get on working. But do you not feel strained by that, or does that?
Well, more so than control. I think I'm trying to let things evolve on their own, especially the music.
Well, where do you get all this inspiration to do so much writing, so much music, to produce so many albums at such a good quality? Where do you get all that from?
My gift comes from God.
Yeah. So you reckon you were put here to do music?
Yeah, to give back onto that gift, to stop recording, to put a cap on your work and then put a boundary on it. It actually, for me, is to put a boundary on your gift that comes from God. I can't do that. I write so much because it is therapy for me. You're evolving your spirit, actually, every time you go back into the well and examine
yourself.
Yeah. So the more I write, the more stuff I put out, the quicker I get to my destination.
So do you think that your music is a soundtrack to your life, to
my psyche
growing up?
Yeah, I would think so.
Wow. On birthdays, you don't like birthdays?
No,
not into that.
No. We came here not knowing that we were going to die. Somebody told us that. And if we never knew we were going to die, we wouldn't celebrate a birthday, because we
But isn't it nice to celebrate the day you was born?
I'll celebrate the day I die.
Because you're going to move on to the next path in life.
Yes.
Who influenced you?
Larry Graham, Shaka Khan.
You've done a few performances with Shaka Khan, haven't you?
Yeah. She just finished a record with us, and we helped her with. She's a hard boss, but
Yes.
I like working for her. Good stuff. Yeah. So, what influenced you? Your singing style, your dancing style.
You know, you did.
Your writing style. No.
I was a dancer. This was like, you know, not a club dancer, but I was like Blackpool summer season dancer. That's how I actually started getting interested in the music industry and things like that. Because you started in the music industry when you was about 15, didn't you?
Actually, 12.
Wow.
Yeah. Not the professional side of it, but I got my first band and started getting Snicker bars.
Snicker bars?
Yeah.
Why Snicker bars?
So we exchanged money back then. It was currency. Candy was currency.
You can't sit still to your music. You have to get up, and you either have to stamp your foot or you have to do something. And I like that about music. That's what music should make you feel. Like, I know there's a lot of music out there that is kind of makes you depressed, and you kind of put on the thing and you want a bit of a cry. Whereas your music, it gets you, but in a good way. And I think that's what music should always do.
I think it should uplift.
Yeah.
There's enough things to bring you down. Don't jack our music up that way too. I mean, there's still a way to get anger and even hate across sometimes in music, but you have to resolve it. You have to show that it's useless to hold these ideas. There's a lot in the music. Interviews are. This is cool because you and I are just hanging out talking.
Yeah.
In most interviews, they ask you questions. I find now people are trying to get me to say something ill about record companies all the time. I have no bad feelings about record companies. I love record companies. They work. It's very obvious that they work by the consolidation of power. So I'm just doing something else right now. So and by being free and doing something else, it almost wakes you up to the fact that let them do their thing, you do your thing. Nobody's bothering me now. It's cool.
But it's good you said you realise that, because people, you know, they do want to kind of criticise, or they do want to drag some badness, like he said this, to make like a good headline. But it's good that you don't rise to it.
Yeah,
your opinion, and that's that.
Yeah, I don't look at myself through other people's eyes. I had an interesting discussion with Larry Graham and a journalist upstairs about criticism of music. You know, if you're a true artist, you're using the gift you've been given from God.
Yeah.
And to criticize a gift from God is sort of to criticize God.
Yeah.
Now, you can cut that any way you want, but it's the truth. So, you know, I looked at the writer. I said, I wouldn't criticize your writing here. I'm not a writer. I don't write books. You know, I wouldn't.
But the media is, I think, it's all a ball of all kinds of things. They get it wrong. They do get it wrong, but they just stir up people's attention.
Well, you know, wouldn't it be cooler to just tell people about things that you like and things you think you merit? Spending your life just criticizing another man's work and his gift is such
I think it's sometimes it's easier for people to dwell on negative things rather than to look at the positive things. Because what you've done for a lot of people is you've influenced them. You influenced me a lot. You really have done.
I hope in a good way.
Yeah. Here I am.
Okay, you're not a pimp then.
No, I'm not. I might have a pimp watch, but you know. Okay, now 1999, you had a song.
Let's talk about this watch though.
Talk about the song. The song 1999. I just asked him, right, if he would do 1999. I asked you. I'm looking at you now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you said,
I said that you could do 1999 if I could redo Wannabe.
Right. Which means?
No. You can do anything. You're free to. Many people have redone that song. I find they're doing them more now than ever. No.
And are you flattered by that? What do you feel about that?
Well, if it's genuine and it comes from the artist's heart, then I'm cool with it. If they're being egged on by their management and their record companies,
Then you say no.
well, that's not genuine. That's just trying to get another piece of
The action.
the purple pie. I like you. This is the best interview I've ever had.
You're just saying.
No, you're very complimentary.
No, I respect you a lot, and I think a lot of people out there.
The highest thing you can pay people is much greater than money. It's a compliment. I appreciate it.
Right, shall we do this game?
What game?
This game, I told you about it earlier.
Oh, okay.
I ask you 10 things, right?
I tell you, the first thing that comes to mind.
It's going to be just one word, so you can answer it in a sentence, or you can answer it in one word, or you can say pass. Right. First thing, cars.
Corvettes.
Jewelry.
Jew.
Time.
Lie.
Holidays.
Holy days.
Christmas. What's
Monster.
that? Eyes.
Soul.
Underwear.
Inconceivable.
Food.
Mighty.
Music industry.
Owners.
Sexuality.
Spiritual.
Animals.
Unconditional love. So I play it with you now.
Go on then.
It's on then.
The IT, because I wrote mine down for you, but you're just going to pluck them out of the sky.
Okay. Spice.
Spice. Lively.
Cross.
Frost. Mixed. When things go that way, they get kind of mixed up and you end up getting cross. You don't need to get cross. There is no time, really. She says wearing a pimp watch. I like it as well because you think about, like that.
I do not.
Well, you do.
I do not.
You do, like, as in, you do.
No, I don't.
What is it then? Well, I see it as that. Maybe I'm interpreting it different. I see it as that.
Well, I don't want to.
You tell me what it is.
Well, I don't want to ruin it for you.
No, go on, correct.
Oh,
I like
it's
to hear.
spiritual union for me.
So you were saying about the noise, the gold plants on. It's all very calming.
Mm.
I like that. That must be important to you.
Yeah, and you can hear.
Oh, you've got doves up there, haven't you?
Yeah, very quiet.
Have you got names for them?
Mm.
What are they called?
Majesty and divinity.
Do you breed them?
No, not by choice. We looked up and there were eggs shaking.
It's a very pure thing to have around. I've got a dove house. My doves are, my doves are rare because they've got like a black tail. They don't look as pure and innocent as your doves.
Mm.
And what does this? You've got a carpet up there with words on. Can you tell me what that says again?
That's probably best left between us, though. What the words?
Okay. I'm letting that secret. It's lovely there. You go for a walk.
Yeah.
And leave all this stuff behind.
Black limo.
Can I just say I didn't order that, all right? That was not me.
Any reason why it's that color?
So nobody can see it, I guess. Are you going to do any more movies?
I'll do one with you.
All right.
What's it gonna be about?
Who's going to write it?
You.
Me write it? Why should I do a lot of writing? Whether it'd be good enough for a movie or not, I don't know. I'm being serious now,
Go for it.
What does it have to be about?
The truth, of course. You know,
As in what, though? What kind? There's all kinds of truths in my little diary of things.
there is only one truth.
Which is?
Don't worry about your bum brothers like that.
Oh. And you can go, why do you say to me, Romeo, Romeo, let down your hair? Go on. Please. For that fantasy of mine.
Well, that's your hair?
No, it's not. It's false, but I can pretend.
Oh, okay. Romeo, let down. No, it's Rapunzel.
Rapunzel, that's it. Rapunzel. I've had enough outside now. It's too hot. Oh, the sun's out now. I think you are lovely,
One last question before you go about your reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've been very cool, you've been very quiet,
Yeah.
and you're not scary at all.
No.
What's up with that?
I think a lot of people, they like to pinpoint it because I have got my own opinion. I do like to say exactly what I think. I think people are not ready for that sometimes. It's like they'd rather have somebody safe and somebody quiet who will go yes, 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 and agree to everything, rather than somebody who's got their own opinion and their own set of morals, their own ideas, their own picture. And I think for some people that's frightening. That's why they criticise you and make out as if it's something that you're not really.
You find that people live through you, and then when you don't act like they expect you to, then
I don't know what you mean, actually.
you're the bad.
Yeah.
Melanie bad. Regardless of the watch you wear, your black lemon, you ain't so bad. You ain't so scary.
No, I'm not. And I
Very
think
sweet
you are
person.
lovely.
Thanks.
You are. I was saying earlier, a lot of people, they get the wrong impression of you, or they've written the wrong impression, or they speak of the wrong impression of you, and that's their own ignorance. They should have a more open mind, because I think you're lovely.
Yeah. Get it from the horse's mouth.
Time to party like it's 1999, especially on The View today, because the artist, one of the most gifted and influential musical geniuses of our time, is back. His new CD is called Rave Unto the Joy Fantastic, and it is fresh and fanciful and full of all the feelings we need to usher in a new millennium. It's such an honor for me to welcome this man. He's a sexy, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the artist.
I'm sure we wouldn't gush too much, but I just pick one credential that makes me absolutely incredulous. You are a master musician. You mastered 20 instruments by the age of 12 years old. I mean, can you say that makes my
And
head
no one
shake
moves like you. No.
at all. And you played every instrument on the first 5 albums. Are there any instruments left to try to learn to play?
With the advent of synthesizers, you pretty much can copy any sound on the planet. So I play keyboards pretty well. So I'm in there now.
You're in there.
By the way, this show is wild. Y'all got
Well, talk to me about your new album, Rave Unto the Joy Fantastic. You credit Prince as the producer, yet you are known as the artist. So is there anything that you want to specify here for us?
Well, most of these terms, the artist and the artist formerly known as this and that and the other, all that's kind of made up by media because I go by an unpronounceable symbol. And basically now it's a great way to distinguish between the Warner Brother product, which is Prince, and NPG product. There'll be a new greatest hits package coming out that will be released on NPG. And
When Doves Cry, please tell me when Doves Cry will be there.
And it'll be fully remastered, and I'm gonna re-record just about all my work. Your hair looks better like this one.
Oh, thank you. You mean better than straight? Thank you. I just really quickly, if it's too personal, just tell me. But can we know what your wife calls you? Does she call you Prince? Does she call you the artist?
She used to just say, "Hey." My stepfather's name is Hayward, so she stopped doing that because it sounded like my mom calling him by his nickname. So she just basically sneaks up behind me and taps me on the shoulder or says "honey" or something like that.
Oh, you keep your private life very private, which is something that I admire. But I know that you're real proud of the spiritual connection to your wife. You were married, you did the civil thing, the marriage contract, and then you destroyed the contract and remarried spiritually. Explain it.
Well, I had this hang up about people touching her and putting their hands on her and hugging her and stuff like that. And I came to find out that it really had to do with the word wife. I don't consider her my wife anymore because that word used to make me, don't touch my wife, don't put your hands on my wife, things like that. Before she was my wife, she was a child of God. And I've learned to just respect her and not be so possessive. And she in turn is that way with me. And I can have intimate relationships with other people, intimate meaning on a spiritual level. I'm not talking about physicality, but you know, you can sit down and break bread with somebody and just discuss the fact that Christ is present. He's not coming, he's present. And it's time for all of us to kind of wake up to that fact and do our thing, you know.
You know what I want to ask you about? I know that you live in Minneapolis and your wife lives in Spain, but you are going to be going to Spain to open an orphanage or make an orphanage out of your home. Is that true? Why is that so important to you?
Well, first of all, I live in the world. I'm not of it. I live in it everywhere. I work here in the United States a lot. Spain's very special to us because it's very peaceful. And we bought a home there and called it New Power Soul because the album that I released is what purchased the place. And we allowed children to come up there and just play in the splendor of the estate. Just we get them from down the hill a ways where it isn't so beautiful, you know. And just to let them know that if you believe something and you keep the vision alive in your mind, anything you want is possible.
You are a big basketball fan. The Chicago Bulls, I'm not going to say anything to you about them, let you keep the Bulls, even though you're here in Nick territory. You know, we have to dig that one in, but I know the one thing that everybody's looking forward to is December 31st, because we can finally legitimately sing one of the most fantastic songs ever written, 1999. And you're going to be a big pay-per-view special, and you're going to actually perform the song, am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Probably for the last time. We're going to do a few numbers there for the last time. I'm going to move on to some new things. In Demand has allowed us a nice little budget, and we're going to put together a really great show with a lot of great people. I have Maceo Parker playing in my band. He used to be with James Brown. I have Larry Graham. He used to be with Sly and the Family Stone. And we're going to have a lot of members of the Family Stone there. Lenny Kravitz will probably show up.
Can you put two sisters up here?
I know, right?
You know that.
We might not,
But you cannot bring that fur jackstrap.
Oh. Thank you so much for being with us. We are just in awe of you. You are the greatest. His new CD is called Rave Into the Joy. Fantastic, and it would make a great stocking stuffer. You can buy it on our website, and we'll be right back with segment 5.
Okay. One more interview, and then we out of here. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share. Let's go.
From one music icon to another, Dave, thanks. A dream of mine came true when I got a chance to sit down and talk with Prince. In a wide-ranging interview, we talked about the war in Iraq, politics, and of course his music, which includes his latest album, Musicology. If you're a fan, you know it when you hear it. The funk, the mix, the melody. It's all pure Prince. Sure, some of the songs on Musicology make us want to groove like that. But there's another layer here.
It's hard for me to believe it. 25 years of making music. And this album in particular, one song, Cinnamon Girl, looks at exploitation. And I just want to go over the lyrics for a moment. You say, Cinnamon Girl of mixed heritage, never knew the meaning of color lines. 9/11 turned that around when she got accused of this crime. So began the mass illusion, war on terror alibi. What's the use when the god of confusion keeps on telling the same lie? Why is that important for you to address some of the issues that we're facing today?
Well, it seems to be the age-old problem of prejudice and misunderstanding between so-called races. I mean, I wrote a song once about a large ball, black on one side, white on the other, and if you have a person about this big only seeing that one side, that's where they think the world is. And unfortunately, in war, there's children dying on both sides. A child dying is a child dying. I mean, we really need to look at this and think seriously about what we're doing here.
You started making music in a pre-9/11 world, and you continue on in a post-9/11 world. Is it important to you to use your music to educate? And is that why you draw on current events for some of your music?
Well, I think music not only should it be entertaining, but it should try to uplift you in some form or fashion. I mean, I think that's the purpose of music. It's to make light of otherwise dire situation. You know, you take music out of the world, it's going to be pretty dark.
You talk about, we just mentioned racism, exploitation, politics, sort of the ills of society, if you will. How much of your own experience as an African American is embedded in the lyrics of your music?
I almost think that we were taught race. It wasn't something that we're just born with. We all look different. We are all varied in our complexions and sizes, and all that's wonderful. That's good, But when we are put in boxes, I've always railed against that. So this isn't a new topic for me.
Could you picture the Prince that I see now in front of me in 2004? Could you see this 25 years ago when you were singing songs with some pretty explicit lyrics? And did you ever foresee this change in you?
Mm-hmm.
This maturity, this evolution?
Well, I always challenge people to play one of my so-called explicit songs up against an explicit song of today. I mean, if you take some of the music off these songs of today, you just got straight pornography. And one thing I always tried to keep was sensuality in my music. It was never done in a spirit of misogyny or meanness.
You're definitely not a misogynist because you tend to employ female musicians in your band, right? Why?
That's a good question.
They're the better sex?
Watch it now. Watch it now.
That's all right. You can admit that to me because I'm a female.
Here we go. See, you threw me off there. Female musicians, I think, tend to listen better, and they don't let their ego get in the way of music.
Females play better with others. That's
They
what.
listen better. Come on now.
I was in college when I became a devoted Prince fan. My buddies and I partied, dreamed of, and watched the skies for. So it was pretty unbelievable. Prince invited me to go on stage with the band. I mean, come on. What would you have done?
I had fun. I hope y'all did too. Make sure y'all taking care of yourself. Drink some water. Make sure you're drinking that water. You drinking that water? Okay. Can't stop this music. It's the only reason why we breathing here today. We are here to stay. CKA off top of the air.